Standing in a common room of a retirement community, Margaret didn't know what to say to the old lady who was sitting in a wheelchair in front of her. Margaret had been wanting to volunteer to work with retired people over their winter break, but she had no idea how to approach or start a conversation with these lonely senior citizens.
She hesitated, thinking if she should ask his or her opinion on building a retirement village. And then Margaret thought of her father, who would definitely tease her for not being prepared. Margaret looked around and saw that everyone was having a good time chatting with the seniors. Other volunteering students were even given hugs and kisses.
Then Margaret thought of her mother. If Margaret had wanted to hug her mother, she would have pushed her away impatiently. Margaret felt a little uneasy. This was a bad idea, she thought, as she walked out of the common room feeling embarrassed.
Margaret was a freshman in high school. She had lived the past 16 years constantly feeling alone. She couldn't find anyone who shared the same interest with her. She couldn't imagine that any of her classmates would discuss classical music or go to an art gallery with her, let alone practice Chinese calligraphy together. Her classmates were friendly to her, and Margaret had a few friends who she could talk to, but she still wished to have some closer friends.
Margaret had a classmate named Whitney. Over the months, Margaret started to notice that Whitney seemed to have some problems. She didn't speak clearly, and she often ignored other people when they were talking. In class, she never knew what was going on, and she always sat in the seat alone during the break time.
Margaret felt lonely sometimes. She always imagined herself as a boat floating along on the ocean, and the classmates were all together on another boat. However, she didn't know how to join the others on their boat. But now, she forgot that she was the only one who was alone. Someone shared the same loneliness as her. Whitney must feel lonely too, because she didn't fit in with her classmates either.
Remembering past experiences growing up, she knew that being different made you an obvious target for being bullied. Since then, Margaret chose to protect herself by hiding her own difference.
Several days had passed since her experience at the retirement community, and the winter vacation had come to an end. A few days after school resumed, under teacher's encouragement, when you walk up to the front of the classroom, telling the whole class with tears in her eyes that she had a hearing impairment, and told stories about difficulties she had.
Margaret was so shocked. How difficult must that be to expose your own defects and share your feelings in public? She would never do that. Afterwards, Whitney's classmates understood her difficulty and learned how to talk to her by standing in front of her and slowing down when talking to her. Margaret started to make friends. Margaret saw all of this and felt little envious of Whitney because she still didn't know how to fit in with her classmates.
One day, Whitney offered to show her classmates some sign language that she learned from the hearing impairment camp. With shock, Margaret watched her walk up to the stage, pick out a microphone, and start to talk. Margaret thought, what is she doing? Isn't she worried about being teased? She can't even talk clearly. She still couldn't believe what she was seeing.
As the sign language lessons was about to begin, Margaret thought, how did she know that people would be interested in this? Had she ever asked them? Why did she think that she could stand on the stage and teach people? To her surprise, her classmates were very curious and interested in sign language. They followed Whitney's instructions and started to do sign language. They really had a good time.
30 minutes later, Margaret found herself enjoying the sign language too. Looking at Whitney's smile, she almost forgot how she used to cry over her own fear of intimacy. Everyone was soaking in this happy atmosphere, and so was Margaret. She couldn't help but ask loudly, "How do you say happy in sign language?"
Over the following days, Margaret spent some time observing Whitney's interactions with her classmates. She noticed that her interactions had a pattern. Whitney would draw how she felt on her notebook and then write down why she felt this way. Sometimes there were smiley faces and sometimes dark clouds. She then shared it with her classmates. After that, they would start exchanging their experiences and stories.
Margaret saw her boat and Whitney's boat again. But this time, Whitney had a bridge on her boat. She extended her bridge to her classmates' boat, inviting and welcoming people aboard. People got on and off her boat, but everyone was floating on their own boat together. However, there was no bridge on Margaret's boat. She wondered what the bridge was made of and how to get one.
While Margaret was spacing out, Whitney came up to her and asked why she was staring at her. Margaret blushed with embarrassment. She looked down shyly and asked, "How did you do it? How can you have the courage to do it?"
"I just want to share my life and feelings," Whitney replied. "I wasn't thinking too much about it."
Share your feelings? Something seems click for Margaret.
The next week, Margaret went back to the retirement home again, this time with a bridge. In the same common room, she walked up to the old lady. She decided to share her school life with the old lady. The old lady looked at her, listening to Margaret's story with a smiley face. And she realized sharing the same feelings is a connection among people. Margaret feels so touched because she had never opened up to another person before or felt so close to someone. In her heart, she secretly said, "Thank you, Whitney. I felt my bridge."